It's The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle, two veteran broadcasters who love to hear themselves talk and are somehow able to tolerate each other. Let's see if you can tolerate them as well. Here's Rob and Bob.
Spinning for the I don't know how manyth time, that's Rob Scott.
And that's Bob Doyle.
I'm in. Oh!
Yeah, sorry.
It was the hive mind working against itself. We were just both right there. We didn't rehearse.
No, that's obvious every week. That's really painfully obvious to everyone that when the lounge comes on,
it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
We have not rehearsed.
You got a few people in the crew who appreciate that bit, and they're letting you know about it by putting their hands together in rapid succession with enough velocity that sound is emitted.
Wow.
And then
they like working at the lounge. Those folks like working at the lounge. They are pleased to be a part of the lounge show. And we do this every Saturday, 6 o'clock Bob's time. And that's Bob Doyle, and I'm Rob Scott. Now the intro's done.
And that's all we've got for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for not just guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding.
We try to beat you up for a half hour a week right here.
We were talking, as we often do, before the show, and we referenced when we used to do the show back in 2004 or whatever. We always pine for the days when we can play music and things like that. But we had that was a whole other era back in the early 2000s when that was happening, and I just the coincidence that we would talk about that time before the show is mind-boggling because I found some archival media.
No.
Yes.
Are you going to play the archival media?
Yes, but it's not us.
Oh.
Let's just watch.
Now, here's what I want to tell you, David. There's these two kids out of Atlanta, I think, Rob Scott and what's the other one's name? Bob Doyle. Now, these guys are worth listening to if you don't value your time. Now,
that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It came across the wire.
Across the wire. Yeah, when I was picking it up off the newsroom floor and I was putting on the pegs, national and entertainment, there was Regis Philbin talking about
these two kids out of Atlanta, I think. Let's watch it again.
Now, here's what I want to tell you, David. There's these two kids out of Atlanta, I think, Rob Scott and what's the other one's name? Bob Doyle. Now, these guys are worth listening to if you don't value your time.
And they gave him the sympathy laugh there, too, the audience. Okay, it's Regis. What the hell?
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's just any line from Regis is going to get a laugh. He said a thing. Yeah.
But I will say this, that I'm always shocked when people find these little clips, people talking about the lounge that we didn't know. And I'm also looking at the tote board, Bob, and I see, yes, okay, Amy's here, so that's good.
That's good, because I was just thinking to myself, oh yeah, I don't have the tote board in front of me, but here it comes. Now, since I just put the tote board in front of me, I won't see anything until someone else totes the tote board. That's what we call it. That's what we call it in the biz, toting the tote board.
Toting the tote board. It almost sounds like a serial character. Toting like Tony the Tiger.
Here comes toting the tote board. I have a cereal, boys and girls. Why? I'm a toasted totes.
That's it.
We're so bored. Yeah. So it all just.
Well, here's the thing, though, that if you think it's silly to put your name if you're toting the tote board, it's not silly because we use those contributions to the lounge to then put in the hopper. If you sign in, you show up, you say a few words, you acknowledge that you're a lounge consumer, and then we put your name in the hopper in hopes to win, whenever we have the drawing, the Lounge Around the House game.
The Lounge Around the House home game. Bring the lounge into your home with your entire family and maybe a friend or two anytime you'd like. Why wait till 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern just to get a taste of the lounge when you can play it at home on your very own Lounge Around the House board game? Packaged now, Rob?
Oh, beautifully packaged in a burnt orange corduroy.
Jesus, that's really loud, you guys.
Yeah, that is a little loud.
A lot of enthusiasm.
They love this song. So yeah, and it's beautiful. It's burnt orange. It's corduroy. It's gorgeous, and it makes for a really nice stocking stuffer. Just saying.
Although, that's right. Christmas is just around the corner. Or perhaps you just stuff stockings willy-nilly throughout the summer. Maybe July is your stocking stuffer month.
Yes. And then wait for it, because we get every week we try to get the cymbal crash. Still playing this. There it is.
There he goes. You almost talked over it.
Right, yeah, but
you almost literally robbed us of it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, there it is. Is this live? Or
This is live. This is live. We finally are in the time of year when we can check back in on Lake Geneva when it's actually happening and see the hustle and bustle of the street next to it. What's that road, Rob?
That would be South Shore Drive.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he got it right. He wins a copy of the Lounge Around the House home game. That's a big prize. He doesn't even have to go into the hopper.
No, I don't have to go in the hopper nor the prize closet. I can just get one mailed to me as quickly as possible. 2-day
Prize
shipping.
closet. The prize closet. All those plastic spiders. Are we ever going to get rid of them?
Right. And koozies that have logos from 4 stations ago.
So is it overcast there? I can't tell.
Yes,
it looks like it rained or something.
That's your upper Midwest, boys and girls. That's your upper Midwest for about 80% of the year. Is it just gray? But I see it. You can't see it on this shot, but our pier finally got put in, so that's good. Most of the piers were already in, but yes, it's starting to hustle and bustle. Using your verbiage, Bob. The lake is up and running, and next weekend is the official, unofficial opening of the season, obviously, because of Memorial Day.
And so then it's just mass mayhem out there.
It's certainly on the weekends. Certainly on the weekends. You know, a bunch of nutballs who have a lot of money and they drink and drive a boat. And I never did that.
Is anybody skiing yet?
If they are, they'll be in a wetsuit.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, because that water's still got to be a little bit Chelsea.
No, it's not a little
Lois.
Chelsea. Is that you?
No, I think it's you.
Well, what could possibly be beeping here in my world?
I don't know.
Seriously, I don't have anything open that would signify, hey, you've got a message, you've got mail, something like that.
That sounds like a USB thing resetting.
Wow. Okay, well, that's tragedy here.
Tragedy! We were just talking about the Bee Gees and how much I never could lock into that. Will Rob ever?
Oh, I can play with mine. I can play with my thing. There we go.
All right.
Play with
Welcome to the chamber portion of the lounge show where we're surrounded by metal walls for some reason.
Yeah, we're down here in the vault and we're checking. This is the prize closet. It's a big vault and we're checking.
Yes, we're in the prize closet.
Yeah.
It is huge. We got so many. That's right. That's the bit.
We've got everything in here. Wow, you guys should. There's a Porsche over there, and
we have a lot of canned goods for some reason. It looks like pie filling.
Our previous CEO thought, the whole Red Dawn thing was going to happen, so he stored a lot of rations down here. This was his bunker. I also think he took his assistant down here from time to time.
Is that a rabbit hutch?
Yes. Anyway, that's the prize closet. Got to close the prize closet door now.
Sound effect here of the old door close from FM radio 1970s. If you have it, that would be too funny.
Right. Jock name here. So let's see if I can make this happen. I wanted to show you something, and it's small. It's not very, very creative, but I'm going to see if I can do the whole screen share thingy, and let's see if you can read this.
Well, I'll zoom in on you.
Yeah, there you go. You can read that out loud.
His infatuation turned to obsession. He would watch her at work. He would follow her home. Yes, everywhere Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
There it is, right there. Right. I think Bob did a nice job with that, don't you, boys and girls?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
I thought that was kind of funny. And I also took this picture today too. See if I can make this bigger for you, because I'm going to see if. So I went to see a show today. I went to.
Yes, that's right.
And that, Bob, was like a sign that told you where the gentleman's lounge and the telephones are. And then there's a guy smoking a hookah, it looks like to me.
It sure does look like. Yes, you could. Yeah. Look at that. Yes, that does look like. Look at you zoom in. You just need to do that all the time.
Okay, gentleman's lounge and telephones, which I love the fact that it said telephones.
Yes.
Right? Everyone's got one in their pocket. And then, there's some lady or dude sitting there smoking a hookah or some sort of a...
Right. There was a meeting or someone made a decision, signed off on that. You know what we need? Hold on. We need a hookah and a public telephone.
And I went and found this afterward. I found the actual booth. There's a phone booth.
Wow. And was Superman in there or just a skeleton?
No, actually, as you can see, they've got some sort of cleaning supply in there. It was really depressing.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it was.
Cleaning supply?
No, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's an inside joke. But so those are my pictures for today, Bob. Actually, I do have one more. I could show you this one too. My Penzies.
Is that Penzie?
Yeah, Penzies are here, and so I just think they look cool because I'm a nerd that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Penzies is a spice company.
Yes, they are out of Milwaukee. Now I'm trying to figure out how I can get back to the screen I need to get back to. I think this will do it.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. He did it. Let's hear it for him, Rob Scott.
Yeah, gentlemen's lounge and telephones, and there's somebody smoking a hookah. I get a pretty big kick out of that picture. I took that, and it's way up on the wall, and above an arch. The interesting thing too, I had to wait in line to use the restroom, right, to use the men's room and lounge at halftime at the intermission. But it's decorated beautifully. The architecture of the Fox Theater, the ornamentation, the chairs, the carpeting, everything's period pieces. It's very cool. And as I'm standing in line and looking at the architecture and the lighting and everything, I thought I was at Disney. It reminded me of being at Disney because that's what they do at Disney. They make the standing in line experience as nice. You have things to look at to take your mind off the fact that you're waiting to pee. To wait 45 minutes for an attraction to go on the Dumbo ride or whatever. I don't know, whatever your jam is at Disney.
Nope, I'll just put on a VR headset. I can ride whatever ride I want. I never wait in line, and I can do the most spectacular things and never get a bruise.
That's pretty incredible if you think about it.
I know, and I do think about it.
And last night I almost bought a toaster oven instead of the 3D guy, but I did not. So I still have my allocated funds for 3D World.
Good. Yeah, I was thinking about this morning because, there's all sorts of projections that people can make about the future and VR and what's going to happen to society. But it was like there's this whole, why are we alive? And we can philosophically disagree on this, but let's just say it's to enjoy the experience, right? And let's say that life hasn't dealt us, or whatever, for whatever reason, we're in a situation where maybe the outside world isn't that great, but we've got an internet connection and we got a $300 headset. And in that, we can create the feelings that we're actually wishing we could have out in the real world. Like we could we could experience a huge freaking home, and really
escapism.
What's that?
It's escapism.
It is escapism on one, but it's also, is it or is it not a valid choice to live? You would not agree. Other people would not agree and say you need to go out and live a real life out in the real world. But
I don't necessarily believe that. I don't believe that. I don't personally believe that. You need to do regular world, normal people hate all those lines. Normal people wouldn't do that. Well, what is a normal person and why do I have to adhere to whatever you think normal is? I'm down with that as long as it doesn't hurt anyone physically or emotionally, whatever your actions are. If they don't bother other people and, and you fit in well enough that in your neighborhood or whatever that you don't bother
right, so
you're
people. Exactly, just so long as you're not affecting anybody else's ability to live the life how they want to. But in fact, we're talking about basically holding up, to a great degree. And can it become problematic? Absolutely. But is it maybe? And I think, technologically speaking, VR and AR, it's opening up. It's going to be glasses soon. It's not going to be like we're hiding from the world like that. We will easily be able to interact. So that whole thing, where everybody's going to seclude, probably not going to happen. There will be a segment of the population who keeps the thing on, and that's where they're going to live.
cell phones still fascinate me. How many people go to their cell phone how many times a day? That does constantly fascinate me.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying, wow, what a change in the way human beings exist on the planet compared to 30 years ago. This is going to be a boring conversation to anyone who showed up to the lounge to have fun. We're getting into
we can stimulate other brain thingies.
Or maybe they heard it too many times. I just think okay, case in point. I am now in the process of getting a new roof for my house. Okay? And so far I haven't met a human being, and we're almost done with it. It was completely done with my phone while I was at work, mostly text, contracts sent back and forth, pictures sent back and forth. I've talked to the insurance adjuster. I didn't talk. Well, yes, I did. I made a couple phone calls. But all the base info was done via text. And I never left my chair at work or the studio at work. And I still have yet to meet these people personally, shake their hand and meet them.
Yep.
And they're going to work on my home. Now, they came recommended, and I'm sorry. But that to me, I go, wow. But that's a cool thing. But then sometimes I'll be in a situation with people where we're all sitting having dinner or something, and they're just compelled, and it's not rude or anything. It's not wrong. It just is.
The whole phone is, yes. That's.
They'll go to their phone and they'll.
Yeah, and that's we're in this transition period where we don't know how to behave as humans about this. And it's all happened way too fast. There weren't any rules in place, no case studies about the long-term effects. We are the case study. And we're seeing the results, but we're increasing the technology so fast that it's almost going to be irrelevant. Because now the next thing is going to be the VR, whatever, and the phones won't be. I mean, it's just going to keep going, and it's snowballing so fast. So I've always just been like, well, and no one's going to stop it. So I just, whatever. I didn't mean to go that deep in it, but I do think about that sometimes for people, because I already know with the metaverse becoming a bigger thing, and now that I'm in it more and I'm seeing the culture that already exists out there. We talked about VR chat. I mean, the people are living entire lives, as other people. That's their world, and they got a really nice world in there. You know what I'm saying? Nice people.
That's no different than, let's say, 100 years ago. A man. I'm not pointing out anything wrong. I'm just using it as an example. Someone who dresses up like a woman, for example, likes to go in drag. It's a comfort zone. It's no different. It's a comfort zone to go into that meta world, or it's just a different you. You can be an avatar. You can be a little something different. You can a counter personality. You might be able to act out in ways that you are not allowed.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's totally what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong.
No,
I bet you this Drinker's Paradise. I bet you they're doing so many sociologists and psychologists are probably doing crap tons of studies right now. Just they can't get enough of this.
Well, they probably can't also keep up with the evolution of it. All right. Time out. We're going. All right. We got to jump from this technology to other technology because I did bring some. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Before you do that, let me just tell you that the show I saw today was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. My whole thing was because I was trying to remember even what it was about because I remembered it was, but I can't. So
it's called Beautiful.
Yeah.
And it is basically a bio play, not biopic, right? A bio play of Carole King.
Carole King, right? I knew it was a bio thing, and I couldn't remember who. Whatever.
So it's obviously a musical, but it's not a musical like they tell because she was a songwriter and performer. Yes. They don't have to use songs to tell the story, so it's not a musical in that sense. I'm going to brush my teeth. I love birds in the sky. It's not those types of musicals. They're actually singing and performing all the tunes that she either did or that she wrote with Jerry Geffen when her career started. They wrote for the Shirelles and the Drifters and all these top number one. What was that? Was that a car taking off?
Yeah, it was some sort of a vehicle. I opened the windows because it was nice here because we had a few 100-degree days and we got a nice cool weekend, so I'm using it. But every now and again, Vegas shows up.
Well, that's cool. Anyway, the point is it was wonderful, and I went with these two ladies from work. They invited me to go along with them, and we're going to. I like shows. You know that about me. And it was neat. The theater was packed, and it was 2 p.m. on a Saturday, which is a good sign. A matinee on a Saturday, so people are going back to the theater, and it was. And then we went across the street and had a bite to eat. Did the whole thing, the whole shebang. And you know me, I don't go out that often, and I had a wonderful time, and I got to see a really cool show. And You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, Aretha Franklin's tune. She wrote that. There's so many tunes that they wrote that you don't realize. And the young lady who played Carole King was magnificent and sang unbelievably well, and it was really well done, and I had just a great time. And it was nice to go out and see a show instead of just watch a really good movie on TV. For example, you had to get in the car, you had to go down the street, you had to be downtown Atlanta, and then you get to see a guy smoking a hookah pointing your way to the men's room. The things that I wouldn't have seen otherwise had I just stayed. So yes, it was very nice. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So
what were you going to ask?
So, well, whenever you go out, do the people always shout, "There goes"?
Most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time. But there are days when they don't.
Tuesdays?
Funny that you mentioned that. Mostly Tuesdays.
That's just my experience.
Yes.
I'm
by
curious.
the way, what was John Oliver? Is that the name of the comedian who does the HBO thing? He's a Brit, and he does commentary on the U.S., and he's very, very funny.
Glasses.
Anyway, if you get a chance. Yes. Comedians in Cars, John Oliver, Jerry Seinfeld, wonderful 17 minutes of your time. Well worth it.
Worth it.
They get each other chuckling pretty good, and I'm laughing along with it because the material is, it's improv material. It's just conversation. And I hadn't watched a Comedians in Cars in quite a while. And I said, before I get ready for the show tonight, I got 17 minutes. And I watched it, and it was delightful.
We should have... Because you just did a freaking stage play review, and...
Yeah, I did.
And we missed an opportunity.
We did miss an opportunity there to do that again just because I did 2 reviews.
I really like your theme music way better than mine.
Well, we've said that about many things over the years, that you like whatever my contribution is versus yours.
Name one thing.
No, that's pretty cool. In fact, hit yours. Don't you have some sort of tech talk?
I do. They have a similar cadence, Dun, da, 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 da. All right, this week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Wow,
Jesus, they went out for intermission or something. Tell people that we're back on.
Yeah, tell them to stop staring at the hookah sign.
Right. Hook or get off the pot.
See what he did there? Do you see what Bob did there? That guy, that wacky Bob, man.
All right.
So what do you got for tech talk today? I like that.
I wish my eyeballs could have bugged out or something. Oh, all right. I don't know if we've talked about this app on this show or not, but I've certainly talked about it before. It's called Gradient, and it's famous for this particular filter in that because it makes one look so interesting. Hold on, we'll just do it. There's my frumpy little face.
Yeah, and now you look like Angelina Jolie.
And now it's kind of like, hey. So let me take my glasses off and cheese it up a little bit.
Oh, how do you do? Yeah, that's John Belushi you're doing there with the one eyebrow. Very good. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could.
I didn't know you could do that. That's good.
So anyway, and then I would take this into like another app and make the cheekbones higher, and then another app to make the eyes bluer, blah blah blah. Maybe give myself a big long haircut, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. He doesn't like musicals. Yeah.
You would have liked this one though, because they just perform the songs and they do a very good job. Please continue.
So they have added, and they've had a version of this, but a live camera component to this now, which allows you to use some pretty cool filters in real time for video to create video. So this is my stupid face by itself. Now, now a lot of these are clearly, if you see the little icons, they're designed for women, to do the whole makeup, make me look just a little bit better, but a little bit realistic, a little bit more realistic. So this one here, the difference is it's subtle, but like my lips poof out a little bit, my eyes clean up a little. So I'm just going to go through these, and then we're going to go do some more interesting ones. Like this one here does that number on my eye. Okay, I have to put my glasses on because I can't see, but I think it also puts some weird eyelashes on me.
Wow, anyways, it does definitely change things.
Yeah. All right. So now, though, I'm going to go to the fun part. So first of all, this one's just weird in that it just makes you smile, no matter what you do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That looks a little clutch card.
Yeah, whatever. But then there's more of these like cartoon filters, and I think these are super. Yeah, these are super interesting. They just did a fantastic job on a lot of these. Now this one's a little dark and smudgy, but it has a style. I'm just going to go through these real quick just to show. But yeah, this one's good too. And a lot of times it'll also cartoon up with the environment too, not just the face.
And it's doing this in real time, boys and girls, which is rather incredible.
That's right. Yes, the days were not long ago when just one frame of this, you'd have to render it. Like you'd take a picture, it would send it up, and then send it back just that.
It was loading Bosendorfer, basically.
It was loading Bosendorfer. But now this is a favorite. This one just is really just so comic booky, and it does the whole room. And when Tracy was in there, I posted something online yesterday with me and Tracy.
I liked those pictures. I thought those looked good. Yeah. I liked those.
And that I use this app for those. That's what this is from. And I like this one too. Just this orc. That's what they call it.
Now, can you do this? Can you use this app to, for example, be a part of a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting? Could you actually do this?
I could, and anyone who knows how to. Basically, I would take. Right now, I'm sending this image to my computer so I can show it here, and I could use this video source, as my camera in Zoom, so I could show up like this.
So it would be live. It would be in real time.
Yes, it would be live and in real time, and.
For me, that would be just worth the price of admission right there, that I could do the whole meeting like that and just make people like you do to me when we're just doing the show. You're just a half a bubble off center. It just makes you a little, that's really not him. And I know he's saying these smart things, and I know it's Bob, but there's something about it that
right.
So that's really cool.
That Avatarify program I use that takes the still images and lets you talk in real time. Then you could show up as Christopher Walken or whatever. You just get a still image of him. And now you're talking, but in real time, his mouth is. Oh, I'm sorry. It's time to go to the lounge, ladies and gentlemen.
I just like that picture.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
All right, let's just see if we get a copyright strike for that.
Well,
4
yeah,
seconds.
but I don't care. You know what? I throw caution to the copyright wins.
That's right.
They're that perfectly played and perfectly timed, and we go to traffic and weather now, and it would be perfect. It would be a perfect set. God is my witness.
Scott Slade is your witness?
No, it's God.
In the WSB Skycopter. Skyplane traffic. Do they still call it that?
Yes,
Skyplane. Skyplane. As opposed to what? The ground plane.
No, right. The Skyplane. Oh my gosh, it's the water boat.
Yes, exactly.
It's the same as saying a water boat. Oh, that's a water boat. You know what, though? I said, as God is my witness. I was about to say,
yes,
God
I know.
is my witness.
I was just looking for an opportunity to say Scott.
Skyplane. And the thing about that line is I always wonder about the guy who wrote it. They're in the writing room, and it's an offhanded line. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly, and everyone kind of chuckled in the room. And they said, that's a pretty good line. We'll put it in there. And it's iconic now. People all quote that line, especially around Thanksgiving from WKRP. And I always think, wouldn't it be, you were the one who wrote it? And you'll say that at a cocktail party, and no one will believe you. No, I wrote that line, and everyone is saying my material, I'll be long gone dead, and they'll still be quoting that line.
Yes, there are things like that. I think about that too, like the person who came up with a thing that just is part of humanity. They originated it, and they, at a party or whatnot, get to say,
I wrote that.
Well,
who wrote that? Tom's talking about how he wrote that line again,
Yeah.
Somebody get him a driver.
I invented the hot dog.
I invented the hot dog. Actually, it'd be better. My great-grandfather invented the hot dog, right? You're at a party, and some guy says, no, really, my great-grandfather invented the hot dog. And I just don't, and you obviously
and just
would not
hold the
believe
line. That's a good one to take into a party where you don't know anybody. Just my great-grandfather invented the hot dog. How? What? No, they've been around.
You go in with, in your case, it would be Tracy, and it's all Tracy's people. You don't know any of them. This is Bob. I've talked to you about him. Hi, Bob. Tracy has. What do you do? My grandfather invented the hot dog.
No, I don't give a shit. What do you do?
Right.
I tell people that my grandfather invented the hot dog, and that gets me free drinks, and I pretty much get by on. I don't have to pay rent.
No.
My car is totally paid for by my hot dog story.
Smart payment. I don't make any of those. My grandfather invented the hot dog.
That's right, and I'm darn proud of it.
But stay with the bit all night long, man. My grandfather
have history, have a whole thing. Look, I know in 18 something, brought over from and people will be incredulous until you just sell it.
Right.
My great grandfather invented the hot dog.
Or it could be great grandfather. I'd have to do the math. But
yes, no, it would have to be. It might be great. Well, like when was the hot dog invented? We have to find out. What if in researching it we found out that your great grandfather
Yeah, it's like it's a me 1, 2, 3 thing about, you know, and where's the money? I'm sitting here every Saturday talking to Bob. I should have a whole room full of hot dogs right now instead
and
of
with
lounge.
those words, Rob Scott and Bob Doyle brought the Lounge Show to another inauspicious close. Join us next week, won't you? 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for another edition of the Lounge Show.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.